Hello YouTube, my name is Simon Says, aka Zach, and today we're doing a battle that I got off of my live stream. It was actually a really good battle. So this was against a viewer, Wisper. He's a pretty good guy. He's got some great Pokemon here, and his team looks really strong. So he has that Prankster Klefki, the Absol with Magic Bounce, because it'll be a Mega, the Noivern, which is always pretty scary, the Chandelure, which, you know, is a really fast special sweeper, the Breloom, and the Staraptor. So his team is pretty scary. And right here, I went for the Mono Flying team. It's a weird little thing, I just kind of threw it together on stream. And the team actually worked out pretty well. As long as there was no special attacking poison types, I had the special tank, I had the physical tank, I had the sweepers, and I had the magic bounce. So let's see how this battle went today. So yeah, this was a great little battle. It was really good. So he starts out with Yoplait Light the Staraptor, and I started with Lady Gaga. I'm kind of expecting the Klefki, but there was no Klefki, and I don't want to take a Double Edge or a Brave Bird to the face, because I'm especially defensive. So he goes with the U-turn, very smart move. Now he has the setup, and he's going to be perfect for this. So he sends out his Absol. I'm guessing he might be expecting the Stealth Rocks from me. I'm not sure, but he of course Mega's right here. Very smart. And I of course go for the Earthquake, because I know if you hit an Absol with anything, it ends up like losing most of its health, as that shows. He goes for the Sword Dance, which is really interesting. I was a little confused by that. But I'm like, okay, well, Gliscor can take even 2 Sword Dance to Absol, so let's just look. And he goes for the Sucker Punch, which, you know, does a surprising amount of damage. I was not expecting it to do that. But of course, Gliscor, I knew he would survive it. And we get the little Poison Heal off, and now his Magic Bouncer's gone. He sends out the Breloom, and here I'm like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this thing, so I'm going to use Knockoff, just in case. And he had an Expert Belt, so I didn't have to worry too much about a Poison Heal here. There was no Poison Heal wars going on. But he lost his Expert Belt, but he has the Bulk Up, so I have to get out. So I send out Lady Gaga. And he goes for the Low Sweep, which of course is resisted. If he had gone for something else, it would have done a lot of damage. My speed does fall, though. He gets hurt by the Rocky Helmet. He goes for the Seed Bomb, which because of that +1 does a third of my health. And I go for the Size Shock. I could have gone for the Heat Wave there, but I wanted to go for the Stab. I don't know. He's pretty defensively bulky, so I don't know if he would have made it. But I knew I wouldn't survive another Seed Bomb, so I switched out, because I'm going to need that for the Klefki. And of course Charizard tanks that like a boss. He withdraws the Breloom, and he sends out Slipstream, his Noivern. So right here I go for the Fire Blast. I know nothing on his team wants to take a drought boosted Fire Blast, but this Noivern surprisingly takes it pretty well. So we land it, which is always good. That Noivern, not even half. That's crazy. So I of course switch out. I bring out Togekiss, and he goes for the Super Fang, which is really interesting. It does half, but leftovers heals me up over half. So I'm like, you know what? I can take another Super Fang. So I go for the Air Slash here. He brings out, of course, Yoplait Light, and that does more than half of Staraptor's health. That's such a good amount there. Now, this is crazy. I think I stay in here, if I remember correctly. Oh, yeah, stay in and use a Roost, which is really crazy because if you use, like, Double Edge or Brave Bird or something, I am not defensively bulky. So I probably could have lost a Pokemon here. See, that does so much damage. I don't even know why I stayed in. But he gets the recoil off, which is good for me. I get the heal off. I see here that he's running leftovers and not Life Orb or a Choice Band. So that makes me feel a lot better because I know he's nowhere near as strong as he could be. Staraptor with Choice Band or a Staraptor with Life Orb is crazy strong. So I know Dragonite with his multi-scale will take it as well. And now I can get the extreme speed off if I need to. The Sunlight is gone, which is fine by me. But the leftovers there, I'm not so worried at this Staraptor anymore just because of the leftovers. So we get the extreme speed off, and we take it out. So that's one of his huge threats gone. Huge threats gone. He brings out the Chandelier, and he goes for the Will-O-Wisp first, which is really smart. Now what I should have done here is gone for the Earthquake, but I went for the Dragon Claw, which still does almost half because of the crit. But I think the Earthquake would have done more because it's not stab. He goes for the Hex, which is really smart. It's going to take me out instantly. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I can bring out Dragon Force. He'll have to withdraw because that thing is frail. It will not survive. And he brings out his Klefki, which will take this Brave Bird very, very well. I mean, that does almost a third of his health. Almost a third. So I know I can't do another Brave Bird to this thing. So I'm going to bring out Uzatu, who I saved for this point. And he's a Screen Klefki. I was hoping he might be like a Para Klefki and try to paralyze me. But it didn't work. He's a Screen Klefki. So I'm going to go for the Roost, just because I'd rather go for the Roost in case he goes for the Foul Play. But then he goes for the Magic Room, which is really interesting. So now items have lost their effects. He gets his screen, so my Rocky Helmet is now going to do nothing. The Choice Band on my Talonflame is not going to do anything extra. So it's really interesting. I haven't seen that very often. He brings out the Chandelier. Thankfully, this thing doesn't absorb my Fire Attack and boosted Special Attack. That would have been terrible. He goes for the Hex, really smart play. It's gonna take me out instantly because it's super effective. The special attack on Chandelier is crazy strong. So I bring out Dragon Force here. I'm gonna do less damage than the last time even, because my item has no effect. So I'm gonna go for the U-turn here, which is really smart, I think. But that one damage. Of course, instantly I bring out Gliscor, which can also take a Paralyze if he decides to use that. And he used Metal Sound, which lowers my special defense. Gliscor's special defense is mediocre, but having it dropped is kind of worrisome. So I knock off his thing in case he goes for the extra screens. When they start wearing out, if his Klefki's around, I don't want it to have that item. He goes for the Metal Sound again, so Gliscor's special defense is now non-existent. If Chandelier comes out, I'm pretty much dead. Gliscor can't take an attack normally, but with a 2 lowered special defense, really is going to cause me problems. The Reflect wears off right there, which is perfect, because now he's gone, but now the Noivern comes out, and I know if I get hit by this thing, I'm dead. So I'm going to switch. I want to get to full health before I switch in. I got a free Protect, which is fine by me. And of course I bring out Togekiss. He's stuck in Air Slash if he's choiced, but he's not. He uses the Dragon Pulse, which I end up thankfully taking, because if he'd used Air Slash again, I probably would have been too low to survive this. Yeah, I would not have survived if he had used 2 Super Fangs there. So absorbing that Dragon Pulse was huge. I get the Roost off, which is perfect. Get the leftover boost as well. So we're almost back up to full. He withdraws, of course, because he does not want to take an air slash. And I use the air slash, of course. The Chandelier doesn't want to take an air slash either, though. So the switch there, it's not really favorable. So now Togekiss is pretty much full health. We got a little bit left to go, but we're pretty good. And of course he brings out the Noivern now, and that Noivern uses the Super Fang again. But at this point, that does a huge amount of damage. It's crazy. And he avoids the air slash, so I'm kind of worried right here. I'm like, yeah, I have to be careful, so the leftovers heal me. I'm going to use the air slash again, just because I know it'll do a lot of damage. But it doesn't, again, this thing is especially bulky for some reason. It might be holding an assault vest, now that I think about it. So he goes for the air slash, and he does take out the Togekiss with the crit. So of course I bring out Talonflame, and he instantly switches out again, very smart. And he brings out the Breloom. So at this point the Brave Bird's just going to priority and take him out. And yeah, Talonflame, amazing sweeper, that Choice Band, really, really smart. The Magic Room is gone, so the Choice Band is back. And he brings back out the Noivern, who again doesn't want to take a Brave Bird either. So it was a really, really good game. Mono Flying seemed to have worked pretty well here for me. And Dragon Force finishes it off. So through the fire and the flames, we carry on as always. So there was a fantastic battle. I ended up not really needing Exatu for the Klefki, but it worked out pretty well, I think. That Chandelure really did put in work. It was crazy. But of course, as again, my name is Simon Says, you should check out Victory Road on Twitch, and you should also check out my stream if you ever get a chance. I'm on there doing these viewer battles all the time, and you have a chance of battling me there and showing up here. So thanks for watching, and have